So today I'm gonna show you how to make HOB stew. It is my famous stew and it is really nice and I'm pretty sure you will like it. So let's get right into it. I don't know why I'm on the roof. So for the ingredients of my stew you are gonna need a few things, and they are carrots, mushrooms, onions, and potatoes. And I forgot to mention too, this is a sausage stew. So the most important part, sausages. Now of course, before we start, we're gonna need our tools. We need a knife and a pot and some other things. Oh, I forgot to show you. These are the flavorings we're gonna be using. We're gonna use this for the thickener. We're gonna use this for, well, a thickener and flavor. Some of this stuff, some this stuff, salt and pepper, preferably sea salt, but whatever salt floats your boat, and beef stew chunks. Get your cutting boards just like that. Hands washed and cleaned. Now let's get to cutting our ingredients. Oh, I forgot to show. You can add celery to your stew just for a bit of flavor. It's up to you. This is purely optional, but I'm gonna add some celery into my stew tonight. Can he shut the f? Some people will say don't use the whole mushroom, but I say use the whole mushroom, top to bottom. Alright, that seems like a nice good bit of mushrooms to me. Of course we're going to be cutting them up, so it's going to be a lot more than just these. Some people will say, you know, put your ingredients in one at a time, you know, just cook them all one step, two step. Me, I say screw all of that, just put all your ingredients in the pot. A lot of people say you should peel your carrots before slicing them, but me, I say the skin adds a little bit more flavor and just a tiny bit more nutrition. We're just gonna cut this up, and you know, I will show you a trick on how to split a carrot into 4 pieces really easily. Let me show you. So we have our carrot sliced, you put it like this, and then you just turn around and then just, and boom! You got 4 little slices, just like that. You can pop that in with your stew. I only really use about 2 or 3 carrots, but I'm going to only use 2 this time because they're quite big. Just rinse and repeat, and in no time you'll have plenty of carrot pieces for your stew. And they say I can't teach a master class. There are many ways you can cut a celery, but I'm just going to do it the basic way because I didn't need to add this, but you know, why not? Why not add a bit of flavoring? Trust me, these things are going to be way better than onions. I hate cutting onions. Oh, fuck. I lost a little bit, that's great. The onions. I really hate cutting onions. Like, we peel the skin. I can already feel it getting me. Oh, it got me. It got me good. It got me really good. This is gonna... I'm only going to use 2 onions, but this already sucks. Right, so now that the onions are done and my eyes are still a little bit... We got most of our ingredients in there. All we have left to do is potatoes and the sausages. Like with the carrots, a lot of people would say to peel the potatoes first, but me, I say the opposite. Leave the skin on, because I think the skin adds a little bit more flavour. We have everything done. We have the carrots, we have the green onions, or the celery, that's what they are. We have the potatoes, and the mushrooms are underneath everything. So now, all that's left to do is our meat. And I'm going to show you probably the easiest way to cut the sausages. If you're wondering what kind of sausage you use, it doesn't really matter, any brand will do. But I'm using, hang on, I'm using this type of sausage, so if you're looking for the exact sausages I am, these are the ones I'm using. So go to your drawer, grab yourself a nice sharp pair of scissors, and pretty much you don't really need the board for this part, just snip them up into tiny pieces, and they'll all go in pretty easily. Yeah. Alright, so now that we have everything we need for the stew, all we have left is some water and of course those bits. But let's focus on the water right now. Now you're going to want to make sure you don't put in too much water because it is a stew after all, not a soup. Alright, that's good enough. Put this on and just turn this off, turn this on, and we'll let it go for roughly 7 right there. So pretty much we only add the rest of this stuff when this is pretty much boiling. This is basically my thickener. I'm going to use this to just pour it in, or I might just pour the whole thing in. So yeah, now we just basically play the waiting game. This would usually take around a few minutes. Of course, depending on what you're using to cook this on, so you know, just this is the patience part. Okay, so the stew's been in there for a little bit. It's getting all warmed up. Ooh, it's not exactly boiling, but it doesn't necessarily need to be, you know, boiling for you to start adding in the other stuff. This is fine. So next we add in our flour, and after the flour, everything else, because the flour will, if you add everything else before, the flour will take away all the flavor. So the flour first and then everything else. 1 scoop, 2 scoop, 3 scoop. We just stir this for a little bit. Get all the flour into the stew. Of course, the stew will get thicker the longer you cook it, so you don't really need to add a whole lot, but I tend to add a little too much. Not on purpose, but it's just a habit of mine. Right, so I just put in 2 more spoons, so that's like 5 spoons of flour. Of course, it'll be different depending on, you know, how much stew you're making, whether you have to use more or less, and how much water you put in your stew. You don't want it too thick. Yeah, a really, really thick stew is, it's messy. Now we add our beef chunks, or I forgot what these are called, but these things, the stocks. You can add as much as you want. I typically add 2, just to give it a bit more flavor. 1, 2. What do you think? I know it doesn't look like much right now, but you know, it doesn't look too bad to me. I think it looks pretty good. Alright, so now we just add our other bits. I don't have much sea salt. I didn't even realize. I've gotta have more sea salt in here somewhere. Come on. How did I forget the sea salt? Alright, well, you know what? It's okay for what it is. Sea salt is very strong, stronger than regular salt, so just be careful. Pepper, or razzle basil, or whatever it is. Just put some of that in here. Our ginger, holy garlic, sorry. Hopefully you're not a vampire. And now finally, a little bit of gravy. Give it a nice stir. Just don't be afraid to be a bit rough with it. Just stir up. Ah! Okay, be a little bit afraid of going a bit too rough. Ah, I can smell that even through the mask. I can just, delicious. Mwah. Looking good, looking good. I know it doesn't look the most appetizing stew in the world, but it tastes really nice. My camera's getting all steamy. Okay, so now we turn it down. Now, if you're gonna have this right away, turn it down to 2 or 3. I'm just gonna turn it down to 2. So once you're more or less satisfied with, you can then more or less just pop on your lid and just let it simmer for around 20 minutes. So I'll see you in 20 minutes. Alright, so it's been 20 minutes, and how is this looking? Oh, it is looking very done to me, I must say. This actually turned out a lot better than I thought it would. That is HOB stew. So yes, everyone, thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Max, where you going? You don't want to say goodbye? You don't want to say? Oh, okay.